Welcome to Rubiscape. After the login, we come on the landing page. On the landing page, we have At a Glance pane. The At Glance page pins the widgets from the dashboard, which are the important ones. On the left pane we have all the entities required to build an end-to-end data science project. It included projects, workflows, workbooks, models, dashboards, datasets and reusable code. When you click any entity, say for example, workflows, it will show a card view of all the workflows on the canvas. To start with our Rubiscape journey, let's click on the plus sign. Here, we can see all the toolsets available in Rubiscape. Let's start with Ruby Connect. Ruby Connect helps to establish connectivity with the data layer. It is the starting point of the journey, where you can start consuming the data for further processing in the platform. RubyFlow supports the ETL functionalities. It is also used for orchestration of the data flow. Ruby Design is used to manage the metadata. RubyML is used for machine learning algorithms. RubyCast is used for forecasting. RubyText is used to perform operation on the textual data. RubySite is used for the visualization of the data. So let's create a new dataset by clicking on Ruby Connect. Select the data format in which you want to create the dataset. Click on the Create button to create the dataset. Once the dataset is created, it will be visible on the All pane. Now, let's look at RubyFlow. RubyFlow uses workflow. So let's look at what is a workflow. Remember the dataset we created? We can import that dataset by using the Reader option in Ruby Connect available on the Test pane. Expand Ruby Connect to view Reader. Expand the Reader to import the dataset. You can easily drag and drop the dataset on the workflow canvas. When you click on the dataset node, you can see the properties on the right pane. Similarly, you can perform other operations like data preparation on the data. For that, expand the RubyFlow to view data preparation. Expand data preparation to view the algorithms. Connect the dataset and the aggregation node. To view the properties of the aggregation, click on the aggregation node. RubyFlow supports a variety of algorithms. We can see the list on the left pane. We have built a sample workflow here. Here, we can see we have imported multiple datasets and applied various data preparation algorithms like expression, aggregation, join and so on. Here we can see a model is built using Ruby Python. The output of this workflow is given to a template file. We can also schedule the execution of this workflow by clicking on the ellipsis on the right corner of the canvas. We click on Create Schedule. The workflow will execute at the start date for the given time and send the status report via email to the mentioned sender. Now, to create a new workbook, click on the plus icon on the top toolbar. Click on Create Workbook. Workbooks are used for ML and forecasting algorithms. VTML spade val equals 95. Click on the ellipsis to run the dataset. Simply drag and drop the iris dataset on the workbook canvas. VTML spade val equals 95. Click on the ellipsis to run the dataset. VTML spade val equals 95. Click on the ellipsis to explore the dataset. Locate classification and expand the module to locate decision tree algorithm. Drag and drop the decision tree on the workbook canvas. Connect the iris dataset node to the decision tree algorithm node. Select the dependent and independent variables from the Properties pane on the right. Enter the other required parameters to execute the decision tree algorithm. Click on ellipsis to execute the decision tree algorithm. To explore the result for the decision tree, click on ellipsis and select Explore. Next, we will create a workbook for forecasting. Click on plus sign to create a new workbook. Now, we will see how to perform regression using RubyML. Let us create a new workbook. Click on plus sign on the top bar. Click on Create Workbook. Click on Create Workbook. Enter the name for the workbook. You can create a new project, or choose an existing one. Here we will choose an existing project from the drop-down. We can also add a description of the workbook.
From the left pane you can select all the tool sets. Expand the Ruby Connect toolkit to see the reader. VTML speed values equals 95 to import the dataset, expand the reader, and locate the Boston housing dataset.
Drag and drop the dataset on the workbook canvas.
Click on the dataset to see the data fields.
Click on the ellipsis. Click on Run to run the dataset. Click on the ellipsis. Click on Explore to view the dataset. Expand the RubyML toolkit to locate regression. Expand the regression module to select linear regression. Drag and drop linear regression on the workbook canvas. Connect the Boston housing dataset node to the linear regression node. From the right pane, select the dependent variable. Select the independent variables. Click on the ellipsis. Click on Run. Click on the ellipsis to explore the dataset. enter the name of the workbook. You can create a new project, or choose an existing one. Here we will choose an existing project from the drop-down. We can also add a description of the workbook. You can see the data fields on the right pane. Click on the ellipsis to run the dataset. Click on the ellipsis and locate Explore to view the dataset. Expand the Rubiscape module to view the forecasting algorithms. Drag and drop the ARIMA algorithm on the canvas. Connect the dataset node with the ARIMA algorithm node. Select the time ID variable, target variable and the date format from the Properties pane on the right side. Click on ellipsis to execute the ARIMA algorithm. To view the result of the algorithm, click on Explore by clicking the ellipsis. Here, we can see the forecasting chart with the forecasted values. We can see the accuracy for the algorithm as well. Now, let us do textual analysis using Rubitext. Let us create a new workbook. Click on plus sign on the top bar. Click on Create Workbook. Enter the name for the workbook. You can create a new project, or choose an existing one. Here we will choose an existing project from the drop-down. We can also add a description of the workbook. You can see the dataset preparites in the right pane. Click on the ellipsis to view the option to run the dataset. To explore the dataset, click on the ellipsis. Here you can see the option to explore the dataset. Now, let us look at the pre-built algorithms available in Rubitext. Here are the pre-built algorithms for text pre-processing. Here are the pre-built algorithms for sentiment analysis. Pre-built algorithms for text classification, clustering and vectorization. Now, let us perform basic sentiment analysis on the dataset that we imported. We simply drag and drop the pre-built algorithm on the workbook canvas. Connect the dataset node to the basic sentiment analysis node. Click on the algorithm to view and set the properties for the algorithm. Click on ellipses to view the option to run the algorithm. To view the result for basic sentiment analysis, click on ellipsis. Here you can find the option to explore the result. To explore the result of the basic sentiment analysis, click on the ellipsis. Click on Explore. In the result, we can see the sentiment. And we can also see the sentiment score. Now, let us move to Rubiscape. Let us create a new dashboard by clicking on the plus sign. Double-click on the widget to add it on the canvas. Drag and drop dimensions and measures. Select species as dimensions. And sepal length as measure. And click on Plot. Click on Format to edit and format the widget. You can change the background, data colors, data labels and so on for the Format tab. You can change the widget by clicking on any of the widgets from the Widget tab. To publish a dashboard, click on the ellipsis. Click on Publish. After you enter the validity for the dashboard, it generates a public link of the dashboard. You can open this dashboard with the link in a new window. Now let us look at dashboard built for telecom analysis by the Rubiscape team.